My name's Driftin and I'm a visual and sculptural artist. The title of the new mural I painted with Charities Housing is New Beginnings, and it's located on Alum Rock Avenue near Mexican Heritage Plaza.
Local Color was originally contacted by Charities Housing all the way back in 2021. They reached out to us to find an artist to not only design and paint the mural, but also work with community stakeholders to inform the mural's design. Charities was really interested in seeing 3 artists submit concepts. The panel ended up settling on Driftin. They really appreciated the narrative and all of the symbolism that was put into his concept proposal.
The symbols I used had to do with like struggle, breaking old cycles, also like just a lot of color. I wanted to really put some vibrancy in the neighborhood. Me growing up on the east side right there in San Jose, I thought it was important that I just represented and like went over and beyond like the scope of the project to just try to give back to where I started.
The mural, I think, really strikes a balance between Driftin's vision with the motifs of like the cactus and resilience and balancing what the stakeholders wanted, which was like a portrait of Bea Mendez, who founded Next Door Solutions, portrait of a Muwekma Ohlone person to represent the history of the land, as well as other parts that folks in the neighborhood would recognize.
We were big advocates for the construction of that affordable housing project. And on top of that, we're big advocates for murals and architecture that really reflects the story of our community. We were grateful that the developer agreed to do this. So it was really important to include the image and the story of Bea Mendez. She was the person that founded the first Spanish language women's shelter in the country. And so it became a haven for people who are fleeing domestic violence.
She knew nothing about how to start an agency. She just had a passion to help people. When I took in the image, I was extremely proud.
The mural, it was almost like a living organism. So the bottom is being nourished, and then you can see the vines going with the architecture of the building, and then they would be blooming at the windows, and that's where the people would be living. I've seen these low-income housing units, and they have like a very cold feel, and I just really wanted to do the opposite and just give it as much color, and I wanted people to be proud of where they live. While I was painting the mural, what was cool was like being up on the boom lift and a lot of people honking and yelling, and just from people from the neighborhood that were just really happy to have that on their block. And there was this one older individual that was really cool. He stopped by on his motorcycle, and he was just saying, you know, it was about time that we do some stuff like this on the street. You know, I've been here all my life. I told him just have patience, there'll be more of this coming. I worked with Local Color before, so we already had a relationship. It just seems like as years go on, they just find a better way of working with artists and stakeholders, and it just makes the artist job so much more easier. One of the ways that Local Color has impacted my art career is just fulfilling like bucket list things, like going back and painting a big mural somewhere that there's not that many murals on the east side where I grew up and where I started my art career back then, you know, just drawing in the neighborhood. And now I'm able to inspire those that are coming up next, you know? And so me being able to give back to the community that nourished me is a really good feeling and something I've always wanted to accomplish, and we finally got to do it.